retrograde reading for the collective. We're going to pull some cards. We got a new deck. We got a new deck. Oh my God. Great blessings today out of nowhere. So we'll be using Fancy's deck, of course. Santa Morte's deck. And the new Art Therapy card deck is getting added into the fray. So these will be our decks. And today's Transformers, of course, because this is Transformative Tarot. We have Minerva, the Autobot medic, the feminine version. She's representing this Cancer season that we're in, as well as the retrograde season that we're in. So she's big on, patching the wounds, self-healing. Mother wounds at this time could be a big deal for you. Anything in those lines. This is the Akashic for me as far as spirituality goes. This house is where the mitochondria, passing on the oral traditions and whatnot. Since we have Mercury here, the oral traditions at Congo Square, they had a lot of that going on yesterday. Not only were they playing the drums, but they were giving explanations as to where they came from, and the meaning of them is like passing on the stories to the next generation. So this is a great time for that. You know what I'm saying? Sitting down with the little ones and passing on the family history, as well as extracting from the Akashic at this time. Maybe something from past lives. Could be something big for you right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of change, a lot of energy in the air. Gemini is hosting Jupiter for the next year. So, I'm sorry, Uranus. I said Jupiter on the last one. Oh my God, I gotta go erase that. We'll erase that. It happens. But that's for the next 7 years. Excuse me. So that's just an example of just slowing down and getting everything right. You know what I'm saying? Still a great reading, but we're going to jump into it. We're going to go with Fancy's deck. Welcome on in. First card out is the Strength. Second card out is Corsage. Who's graduating? Who's going to the next level? Who's going to the next level? And the White Dog with a lot of heart. With a lot of heart. So, just to recap, the Transformers are show up. I just found her in the shelf at Walgreens of all places. Talking about self-care, being the Autobot medic, the feminine versions representing the Cancer energy that we're now in. Happy Cancer season to all my Krabby Patties out there. And also, this is where the retrograde is taking place. So, nursing old wounds, especially mother wounds at this time. And of course, we got Bruticus, the 5, the change. And with that, we have Corsage. Corsage is like graduation, an initiation. A congratulations is in order for a lot of you as well. This is, overcoming something, passing the test. With the retrograde, it might be a little bit more of that depending on who comes back to visit you when the past comes back to revisit. You know what I'm saying? And the White Dog is asking us to remain in the heart energy. This is more Cancer energy, but this speaks of loyalty as well. You know what I'm saying? Being true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Loyalties can change with other people, situations, depending on how long, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But stay in that frequency of self-love at this time. Having the strength to overcome is really what this corsage is about. Whatever obstacles or challenges you're currently going through or have gone through, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Just stay in this energy right here. Let's get the clarifiers from the Santa Morte deck, and then we'll pull from the new deck that we got. And cards will be available tonight for anybody who wants to get a quick reading, a little mini reading. All you gotta do is state your claim. I will send you to the appropriate place where you can make a donation if you like. What's going Joa? Am I pronouncing that right? You said it twice, already written. Retrograde, Mercury, redoing, reshaping, revitalizing, revamping, rewriting, rereading, recharging. That's why he's here. A lot of us have gotten to this stage where we are in the combiner mood, right? But we have to recharge. That's why she's here. You know what I'm saying? For corsage. Now, what's going on is the graduation is not so much a diploma from a school or, getting a certificate. It's more about releasing the past, the emotional trauma of the past. This is great for Cancer season. You see the patterns in the head, right? In the skull. Those are patterns. Like, it's funny because they're thought patterns. This represents the maze of the mind, how we can get lost in our emotions here. You know what I'm saying? So this is part of what the graduation is, overcoming some kind of hang up emotionally. So this could be an old relationship, people you've had to move on from. The strength card with this page of pentacles, this is having the strength to, this is about your value right here. You're not accepting the small things. You're not expecting the bare minimum in this when these cards come together like that. You're having the strength to stand on your value and your worth. We came out of Taurus season recently. Now we're in Gemini, and this is where the avocation, it might shock some people because we have Uranus there. And now this reflection is going to give us time to go back and see maybe where we have done it to ourselves. We have gone less than what we're worth. But this is what's changing. And for the white dog, look at that. 8 of Swords. Head over heart. Look at that. This all kind of goes together. It's and that's why I chose these two, because we have the masculine and then we have the feminine. They have to work together. The head and the heart have to work together. You know what I'm saying? This is a tough thing. You know what I'm saying? That's that old song. My mind keeps telling me no, but my body keeps telling me. That kind of energy. It's where like you're at conflict with yourself, and that's when things can get a little foggy as far as what we're creating. So let's get one. Let's get two. Let's just have fun. Let's get two from the new deck, the art therapy. And what better deck for a motherfucker like me? I found this today in the storage. Hope my homeboy reorganized some of his stuff. Again, reorganizing, right? Great time. Back up all your files. Clean out your phone. Clean out your emails. Get rid of all that old shit. It's a good time to do some feng shui. You're making room for new things. You're getting rid of the old. The retrograde will show you what no longer serves you. You know what I'm saying? You got old pictures and shit hanging around from years ago that you're holding on to for emotional whatever. It's outdated now. It's what's going to hold you back if you allow it to. Okay, it's just a warning here. It'll hold you back. So for the art therapy, the first one we have is, look at this shit, the envy monster. Card number 68. So this again, if you do your numerology, is a 5. More change. To get to know your desires and set intentions, the medium is sculpture, and commit 30 minutes to it, if that's something. Let's look on the back. I like how these cards lay out. Use clay to create a representation of your jealousy or envy in monster form. Ask the monster why they want what they are envious of. Keep asking until you get to the root. If desired, follow the package directions and bake and preserve the sculpture. This is shadow work 101 for that ass. You feel what I'm saying? We are all susceptible to this. You know what I'm saying? How long and for what reasons is what this card is really pointing towards. The reasons why we're envious of somebody or something. But, how long you let that linger really makes a difference. I could see somebody in a Ferrari and I'd be like, damn, I wish I had that bitch. But I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? After that, cool. Looks great. It's kind of like, you're allowing your shadow to speak. You're allowing that part of you to have its ride. This will help by addressing inner conflict, expressing your needs and voice, giving yourself guidance, regulating emotions, and soothing anxiety. This will get you on track because whatever it is you envy, you can have. It's about putting a course of action, hence setting intentions. There's no need to be envious. But that part of you, this is wanting you to address it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're just drawing this envy monster, what does that look like? Just getting creative. You know what I'm saying? So the envy monster. And then for the second one is, I like these cards a lot, y'all. I do. Let's get one more. Card 53. Better together. To explore yourself in your relationships. How about that for Mercury retrograde Cancer? The mother energy, the nurturing, the people who are around. Siblings as well, because we're dealing with Mercury. Photography, and digital art, 30 minutes. So this stuff is just asking you to take a little bit of time of that self-care that Minerva is here to advocate for us. And a photo of you and a friend you admire, either as a black and white coloring page, a digital collage, alternately print out the people, then glue them on paper. Surround the picture with words describing this friendship. Add colors and images representing what everyone brings to this relationship. So this is a great time to review the people in your life and what they mean to you. You understand what I'm saying? It'll ask you, how did you feel? What did you notice about the relationships? What's your role? Are you inspired to take action with these relationships? So this could be new or old as far as the time, but retrograde energy is going to have you reflecting those older relationships. And do not forget that the relationship with yourself is just as important. This will help build self-esteem and confidence, gratitude and happiness, increasing appreciation for things, okay? Phone and computer, digital photo, digital editing, camera printer, mixed media, scissors, blah, 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 blah. Rock with whatever you can rock with at this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hold nobody to go out and buy a whole bunch of shit just to start. But if you feel like this is stuck energy, this is where you go against yourself, your old thoughts and patterns working against you. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going to help alleviate this. This is why I love this deck coming to me. What a gift. You know what I'm saying? I am in appreciation of it. Next one, cozy comfort. Crease. Oh, look at this. Self-reflection and encouragement. Mixed media, 30 minutes. Let's see what it says, y'all. Cut 2 pieces of fabric into identical shapes. Line these shapes with the size that you want visible on the inside. Sew the fabric pieces together by stitching around the border, 1/2 inch from the edge. Blah, blah, blah. After sewing, turn the fabric inside out. Stuff it with cotton balls or pillow stuffing on the paper. Write something comforting to yourself. Stuff your message inside and sew the fabric shut. Hold your comfort object whenever you need it. Great. Was this message something you needed to hear recently? If you knew this message were true, what would today feel like? If someone said these words to you, how would you feel? Interesting. Scissors, fabric, cotton balls, stuffing, small paper, pen or pencil, y'all can read. Cultivating self-care, identifying and expressing needs, we've got a lot of that. Regulating emotions, soothing anxiety. So here's the thing, especially if you guys are in what feels like a new cycle. That old cycle, that this is the shit that they don't tell you in the books. That old cycle, it's kind of hard to break those habits because you're so used to it. And what I mean is, let's say you're getting rejected for jobs or relationships for a whole 7 years while there was a transit in your sign kind of thing. You're used to those patterns so much so that you're expecting them. Even if the whole situation around you is changing and you're starting to get the acceptance that you were looking for, um, it's still kind of difficult to break out of those cycles of thoughts and feelings. Just look on the internet now. How many relationship videos have you been seeing lately? Uh, oh, my baby mama, my baby daddy for the past this and that. Oh, I'll never date this or this or this and that again. And that. It can make it really overwhelming and stop you, get in your way from meeting somebody new. You feel what I'm saying? You'll find somebody, you'll be attracted to them, they'll smile at you, you'll smile at them, and then in your mind, you'll be like, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? You'll self sabotage yourself because the old emotions haven't been dealt with and the old thought patterns have not been dealt with. And you will be selling yourself short. The bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? So this is what the retrograde is here. It's here to give you your emotional and mental diploma. It's asking you to have the strength to break these habits, these trends. And it's also asking you to come from the heart with all of your with all your interactions. I don't care if it's somebody who envies the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? It's just showing compassion for yourself. So boundaries, you know what I'm saying? Imposing your boundaries and keeping those boundaries in place. I don't care if it was the love of your life, you know what I'm saying? But they fucked you over kind of thing. You got to be really careful with these emotions and these thoughts when the old energy comes back to kind of rope you in again. Half the time is, uh, it's sincere. I want to offer you an apology, blah, blah, blah. But other times it's just to see if they can get you around the finger again. You know what I'm saying? See if they can rope you in again with the bullshit. And this is why it's important to have the heart and the mind on the same page. Let's get three more cards for closing. And if anybody would like a mini reading, it's a donation day. All you gotta do is go to the Cash App or the PayPal or the Venmo. If you don't know what it is, I'll let you know. I'll go get the paper for you. More than welcome, but you can also schedule your own reading for as long as you need. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold you. Some people only need 5 minutes to hear one thing. Well, some people may need the full 30 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever. We're all different. We're all working our journeys, right? So let's have a look at what the death again. Death. This is the opportunity. I'll zoom in a little bit to equalize the situation, to improve the opportunities that come, and the death. In the Mayan calendar, death is not the finale. This is like maybe, let's see, red, white, blue, yellow, red, white. This is the sixth archetype out of 20. Death comes in the sixth part. It's the release of, say you do one of these art exercises. You release it. If you write down your intentions, you release it. You don't hold on to it. You let it go out in the universe and do what it needs to do to come back to you the way you need it to. But this is also, a rebirth, a rebirth of sorts. Because getting rid of that old energy now allows you the opportunity to not only have a different frequency and ride on that, but to equalize anything. But you've got to be willing to let the past go. Two cards supporting, we be out of here. Let's put some Oregon on this. Some Oregon energy. So for you newbies to astrology, whenever you have a moon, whenever you have the sun in a sign, as your birth sign is, always look at your opposite sign because that's your learning curve. And right now we're looking at the mother and the father of the zodiac, Capricorn, Cancer, sit right across from each other. The fourth house down here, home, family, the mother, nurturing, blah, blah, blah. This is where the sun is at. And right on the top, we have what sits the house of the father, which is Capricorn. and they learn from one another, as all relationships have masculine and feminine. But this 10th house is your accomplishment. So this is also a good time to reflect on where you've been at and the things that have happened, the things that you've overcome. Accomplishments can mean many things, you know what I'm saying, to each one of us. The birth of a child, for example, the publishing of a book, you know what I'm saying, getting a black belt or completing a course are some of the things that go along with those accomplishments. All right. And let's get 3 cards. 2 and bottom of the deck. Woo! Came back out again. This is needs to change. Gaining a new perspective. Like I said, after going through certain things for so long, you've been in a relationship, you've been in a job, you've been living in a certain area for so long, it's time to get a new perspective. It's not saying leave your marriage or your job or any of that. It's getting a new perspective of what it really means for you at this time. Now, there may be a change of these things, of course, but it's, again, we're not advocating leaving it until you've had the review, but you need a new perspective. And sometimes that takes a bit of detachment here from everything and everyone and getting back to this self care so you can hear your voice, so you can address your needs and your desires. What can you say with the 9 of Wands? I mean, it goes to the 10, which is carrying burdens and blah, blah, blah. It's gathering those things. So this is where you address the issues. You feel what I'm saying? What needs to go and what needs to stay. But taking proactive steps to do so. They look dead over here, but they look ripe over here. You feel what I'm saying? New beginnings, all this. Feeling like woe is me. There's nothing new. Nobody's hiring. All this is sitting on top of these cards that we just talked about. So let's get into it a little bit. How you feel. A new set of feelings and emotions. Affirmations, switching up your daily routine, hanging around different people, people who inspire you. There was a beautiful, what's the guy's name from Transformers, the rapper? Toby, and fuck his last name up like crazy. Ngawe or something like that. There was such a beautiful video of him receiving a Father's Day video from his children and his wife. That just negated everything I saw earlier about relationships, people talking about that dumb old shit, still caught in the drama cycle. Get around that energy and let that feed you and nurture you so you can get better examples of that emotional, whatever you feel that you've lacked emotionally. You know what I'm saying? A little empathy. You know what I'm saying? A little sympathy, a little compassion for yourself and the journey. We all make mistakes, right? We just slipped and busted our ass. It's part of the learning curve. Where we have shortchanged ourselves through our actions. This speaks of desperation, times of dire need. Are we going to sell ourselves short for the temporary short, you know what I'm saying, results, or are we going to hang in there with our values? And then our thoughts. We need to change our thoughts about the value of us. Again, this all goes together. Our value. A new set of values, perhaps. A new set of virtues, principles. A new job. Something like that. Something that really helps us get out of our own way. This skull right here is the same skull here. Basically, we kind of energetically reject ourselves at times. You know, we can have that, especially if you've been around people who are emotionally abusive and all that. You know what I'm saying? Who talk down on you, who have doubted you. So this strength card really speaks volumes after all we've talked about. So let's take a closer look before we roll up out of here. This is shedding labels, shackles, regardless of what's going on in the world around you. You know, we got the war. We got pipes busting in the streets. You know what I'm saying? We got TV telling us all kind of stuff. But in the midst of chaos, there's a beauty that happens. There's a rebirth that happens, a regeneration, where we burst out of the ceiling of that confinement that we have allowed others to put us in, and that we have put ourselves in. This is breaking free of all those old labels, those ways of being. Having the strength and the willpower to be who we truly are. And this is a great time with the retrograde. Go back to your childhood. Things that you love that brought you a sense of joy. That's why the Transformers ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I will continue to collect them. I will continue to watch the shows. Even though they fucking up every now and then. I create my own world with them. I've created my this is my pantheon. You know what I'm saying? Instead of statues of Horus and all them, this is the new pantheon for me. You know what I mean? But what really does it for you is all that matters. And nobody has a say in that. And that's part of that willpower that we're looking at. The expression of who you are in your beliefs, your wants, your needs, and your desires. Great time to review all that and allow yourself to really be seen and heard for who you are, especially by yourself. You feel me? Give me a closing card for these good people, and we're gonna roll up out of here, Spirit. Appreciate all y'all who stuck around, all y'all who support the channel. Thank you for the 3 people who hit the like button. Anybody who's ever purchased art or had a reading, I appreciate y'all. And this card is for y'all. This is for y'all. Anybody who I just forementioned. We got something else for the rest of y'all, motherfuckers. No, I'm just playing. That's what spirit guides and ancestors are there for. Light work. All right, good people. The devil. Interesting. Don't y'all go running. Especially if you know the true nature of the devil. The devil and Jesus are one. They were both called the sons of the bright morning star. I'm just talking about Venus anyway, but that's astrology talk. Maybe we'll do that another time. Oh, yeah. This is an interesting dynamic, and this is where the slope gets slippery for some people. So follow me. Follow me. The devil are things that we're bound by, belief systems. In this case, you know, we see the old Christian church and everything behind it, the Vatican. We know all these motherfuckers ain't up to no good. These are people who come into these places of worship and reverence, and they hide amongst us, right? But in this case, this is the shackles that bind, regardless. It could be, you know, you just do something too much that you know is not good for you. The 5 of Pentacles is walking away from that. A lot of you have begun or are already almost there with certain things. And what you're going to learn during this retrograde is, if you see these little green skulls, these are going to be the receipts of the wisdom that you gathered about that part of the journey, especially about yourself. These may also be prominent people in your life during that span of time. 5, 6, 3, 2, 1, I don't care. However many people came into your life and helped you see something different about yourself. Gave you something that really changed the frequency of how you view things. Positive or negative, you know what I'm saying? There are what they call twin flames. And this is a good example. If you've ever bumped into one, that's one of the wildest fucking relationships you could ever be in your life. Half the time, most of the time, that shit just doesn't work. But what you have to remember is even through what they put you through, you got to remember that you were a part of that as well. So accountability is big here. Accountability here is big because you both were there to teach each other something that really changed your life. And that's where the compassion and the gratitude comes into play. Because without them, you would still be walking on one of these white skulls. You wouldn't have learned anything. You feel what I'm saying? At this time, you got to kind of allow the universe to do its thing. Let it bring those people back. Let things around you transpire. This is a release of control with the Emperor in reverse. But it's also being mindful not to abuse your power at this time. For a lot of you that have really done some great work on yourself, do not allow it to change you in a way where you become that corrupt official now. You know what I'm saying? What somebody did to you, like you want to go do it to somebody else, kind of thing. Be the better version. You understand what I'm saying? Be the better partner, be the better companion, be the better teacher than the one prior, and allow the universe to guide you. Don't try to force the hand. Don't try to make things happen at your time. You know what I'm saying? So that is the reading for the retrograde. Hope you found something useful in it to take with you, even if it's just a tidbit. But I wish you all the best moving forward, and remind you to stay present on your journey and really take stock of who you are and the people around you at this time, so that when the retrograde ends and moving forward and things start speeding up a little bit, that you're ready for it. Doesn't mean you're perfect, but it means you're better than you were when you entered the retrograde. You have a lot more clarity about what needs to be done, you know what I'm saying, in this year of new beginnings. All right, so peace and wholeness. I will talk to y'all when I talk to y'all.